Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? It's your girl Ashley and welcome back to the channel. I have you guys super up close and personal, honestly, just because I don't feel like changing my lens. Call me lazy, call me what you want. But today I'm going to be doing a chit chat get ready with me video, which I'm pretty excited about. I haven't filmed one of these in a hot ass minute and I felt like it was long overdue. A lot of you guys have so many questions for me in my comment section, so I really wanted to just sit down, play in makeup, and answer some of your questions. So if you guys like these kind of videos, make sure you guys are subscribed by pressing the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to click the bell so that you guys are notified anytime I upload a new video, which is 3 times a week, every single week. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I like to think it's a pretty good time over here. So make sure you guys join my little fam bam over here by pressing all of those buttons. I have my coffee. I highly recommend that you guys grab some coffee because it's gonna be a long one. So for the sake of timing, I've already done my brows and also primed my lids off camera just because we're not trying to be here for like 10 minutes doing brows. Like, that's not happening. Do you guys remember that one video I did when I filmed with my friend Tanya from Kiss and Makeup? Y'all, I spent half the video just doing my eyebrows. Definitely didn't want to do a repeat of that, so I did them off camera. Today, I'm gonna be playing with the Warrior palette, which I did haul in my last Ulta haul video. You guys really love that video, and I love filming it. So if you guys want more like chatty videos like this, as opposed to like makeup tutorials and first impressions, let me know by giving this video a big thumbs up, so that way, obviously, I can film more videos like that for you. Now, since this isn't gonna be like a tutorial, I'm just gonna kind of play around. I do kind of wanna do like more of like a bronze smoky eye, and I'm just gonna go with the flow, but I'm pretty much just setting down the crease of my concealer. I don't usually do this, but I'm just doing it today. Anyways, I did want to just briefly talk about some questions I've been getting in the comments of my videos. The number one question being, am I still doing keto? The answer to that is no, I am no longer doing keto, and I know a lot of you guys probably predicted that I was going to start and then stop, but I will say that doing keto was really, really awesome. However, it really was one of those diets that was so restricting, and it's not to say that I couldn't do it anymore. It's just that I didn't want to do it anymore, if you feel me. One of the biggest reasons is because of the fact that I would feel really, really guilty just thinking about wanting to cheat. Now, I never cheated when I was on keto. I did keto for about 6 weeks straight, and I lost 10 pounds, and that's really, really good for me because oftentimes whenever I'll diet, I won't lose that much weight. To be honest, I feel like the scale just kind of plateaus, but I do weight lift while I diet, so I feel like that has a lot to do with it. But on keto, I was able to lose 10 pounds, and while 10 pounds doesn't seem like a lot, it is a really, really big amount. So I was really, really proud of myself for losing weight, but I didn't feel like keto was sustainable for me, and that was just simply because I was consuming so much fat and very, very little carb and just a slight bit of protein that introducing like carbs and sugars made me just feel like I was just like overeating, if you get my drift, and I didn't want to gain weight. So I decided to get off of keto. It was a mutual agreement between me and Babito because obviously he supports me in a sense that if I'm dieting, he tries to do what I do just so that way it's a lot easier for me to stick to it. And that is one of the biggest tips I can give any of you guys at home, that if you guys are trying to lose weight and diet and things like that, definitely get a partner, get a friend, someone to do it with you, because honestly, doing it with someone else just really motivates me, and I also know that it motivates a lot of other people as well. So what we're doing now is we are just trying to eat healthier whole foods and do a macro counting approach. Now with macro counting, you do have to figure out your own personal macros. I'll leave the link down below for the website that we personally use to find out our macros. So just click the link down below if you guys want to figure out your own personal macros. Now, one of the main reasons it took me so long to sit on camera and be like, yo, I'm not doing keto anymore, is because I don't want you guys to personally feel like I'm trying to promote so many different diets, because that's not what I'm trying to do. And I kind of did a misstep when I introduced keto on my channel and then stopped doing it after 6 weeks, because I felt like that's what I would be doing if I continued my weight loss vlogs. Like, hey, here's keto, everybody do keto. And then now I'm like, oh, count macros, everybody count your macros. And I didn't really want to cause cause that confusion on my channel. So I felt it was best for me to kind of stop the vlogs and just figure out what it is that I wanted to do, what fit best with my personal lifestyle. And honestly, that just wasn't keto. So that is one of the main reasons I stopped the weight loss vlogs. I did say that I wanted to start doing them over on my vlog channel, which again, I haven't even started. I feel like my channel is so heavily consumed with beauty videos and things like that, that it's really hard for me to do anything outside of makeup tutorials or videos associated with beauty, which is why I brought up in one of my previous videos that I did want to stop the Sunday upload. A lot of you guys were just like, no, like that's not happening. So me and Babita are actually trying to figure out what's going to work best for this channel and what we can do to start our channel. So it's a learning curve. It's definitely a learning process. I will say that these shadows are blending out like a dream. I also want to note that I want to start incorporating more fashion videos on my channel, like videos about clothing and outfits and things like that. I have been currently planning out some videos associated with like hauls and, you know, try on hauls and things like that, just to see how you guys feel about that. But definitely leave your recommendations down below on anything that you may want to see on this channel. Also, let me know how you guys feel or felt about the video I did with my little sister. Honestly, I really loved doing that video. I know she was like a little quiet, but I felt like she didn't want to like talk over me or speak over me when I was trying to explain something to you guys. So if you want us to do a video that's just like us just interacting with each other and not so like me trying to teach you makeup on her, let me know, because we want to film a video together. We just don't know what. I know for sure we want to do the sister tag in the near future, but we'll probably do like a collaboration where I cross promote her and she cross promotes me on her channel, which she does have a YouTube channel, so I'll have that link down below if you guys want to check out her channel. Oh, I am living for this shade. I'm just gonna go in with an M441 and I'm just gonna kind of buff and blend out these edges a little bit because she's looking a little harsh right in this area. I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm gonna be doing a little bit of traveling during the month of October, which I'm really excited about because I feel like I haven't traveled all that much this year. Like I have, but like I kind of haven't, like not as much as I did last year. I'm going to be going to New York City with collab, and honestly I'm really excited for all of the things that we're coming out with. We have our lip capsule collection launching early November, where each one of us from the collective actually created our own custom shade. You guys saw me introduce that in the video with my sister and I love that shade. So if you guys love it as well, you definitely can pick it up during the month of November. I was getting a lot of questions about that and I definitely wanted to clarify some information in the event that you guys wanted to go out and, you know, support your girl. While I know I've been blending out this color for what feels like forever, one thing I will point out within the Juvia's Place palette is that it only comes with 3 matte shades. As you guys could see, we have 3 matte shades, so I don't want to go in with this shade in my crease because I feel like that would just make the look hella smoky, and that's definitely not what I'm going for. So I'm really trying to build up this warm tone brown shade right here in my crease to make it look like a different color, which is why I'm going in with just a tad bit more product, simply because I don't want to dip into another palette. So sometimes when you concentrate a color more in a specific area than others, it will look darker. So that's kind of what I'm going for. So I think that's looking pretty good. I'm gonna go in with the shade called Benin, which is a really pretty bronzy shade within the palette. Honestly, they're all bronzy shades. What I'm doing is I'm putting it on a MAC 242 and I'm just going to pat this all over the lid from inner to outer corner. Now I'm applying these wet, but honestly you don't even really need to apply Juvia's Place shadows wet because they're extremely pigmented, like hella pigmented. I'm gonna hold my eye a little tight here and then I'm just going to rock it from outer to inner corner. Now I also wanted to bring up my wedding because that was a really big question over on my Instagram when I did like my little Q&A and stuff, which reminds me, if you guys don't follow me over on Instagram, definitely give me a follow because I have about like 66,000 followers and 500,000 over here, so I would really appreciate it if you guys could follow me on that platform as well. I am trying to get better at posting more regularly, but I do like little Q&As, so if you guys ever want to be a part of a video, that's kind of the way to do it. But anyways, a lot of you guys were asking me about the wedding and when am I gonna get married? Have I started planning the wedding? And the answer to that is that the wedding's off.
What? What the fuck?
I don't want you guys to think that we're not going to get married, because I for sure, hands down, want to marry Bobito. But I don't want a big wedding. I feel like girls grow up their entire life knowing exactly how they want their wedding to be. Like some women, some girls, they have their wedding planned out before they get married. Like they know exactly what they want to do, and from the moment they get engaged, like that night they pick out a venue, and that week they pick out a DJ and all that stuff. But that's just not me, and that's never how I've been. I've never looked at my life in a way where I was like, I know exactly how I want to get married, because I feel like it really just depends on the person. It depends who you're with. Like if it doesn't fit with that person, then it doesn't need to happen that way. And I personally feel like I don't have a lot of family. I don't have a lot of people in my life that I would even want to celebrate that moment with other than my husband. We've both decided that we want to do something very, very intimate with our closest friends and family. And when I say closest friends and family, I mean closest friends and family. Like I personally feel like when you put on a wedding, you're putting on a party for everyone else but yourself. I've witnessed 2 weddings this year, and I will say they're extremely stressful, they're unnecessary, and I feel like you're spending a lot of money for nothing. Like half the time you probably don't even get to enjoy it as much as you want to. And I feel like when you get married, you want to spend that moment with the person that you're gonna marry for the rest of your life. You don't wanna be entertaining a bunch of different people and parading around like, hey, this is why my wedding's so great, because I've never been that way, and I just feel like to do something like that would be very unlike myself. So that's why I won't be doing a very, very big wedding. Honestly, if that's something that you want, if that's something that you feel like you need to have a very big wedding, do it. Like don't let anyone tell you otherwise, but also don't let people make you feel like you need to have a big wedding and this big party, because that's the norm, because it's not. And it should definitely be what's right for you and what's right for the person that you're going to be spending the rest of your life with. So that's pretty much my take on it. If I was to do anything, it would be very similar to what Diana Saldana did here on YouTube. Her and Jose went to the courthouse, they got married, she also got a dress, they took beautiful pictures, and then they did a ceremony with their friends and family back home in New York. I want to say, I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I would do. But at the same time, like I feel like my dad's so excited to walk me down the aisle. So clearly I got a little emotional there, but that's only because anytime I think about that, like my dad's super excited, like really excited to walk me down the aisle. Okay, so let's see if I can get it out. Let's see if I could speak, because I haven't been able to do so for the past like 10 minutes. Been sitting here like a little baby, like somebody's like inflicting harm on me. But what I was trying to say is that while those are my views, my dad's really excited to walk me down the aisle, and I don't want to feel like I'm taking that away from him by not doing a big ceremony. So I'm kind of torn, even though that's like what I want. A part of me is like, oh, maybe I need to do it this way, because I don't want him to feel like I took that away from him. Clearly, I'm a daddy's girl. It wouldn't be affecting me like this if I wasn't. I need to put foundation on, because now my face is red. Now I look crazy. Now you guys are probably thinking I have issues, and I'm over here crying, and that just doesn't need to happen. Anyways, I'm gonna go in with primer. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. It is a primer and moisturizer in one. You guys know I love this primer. I've used it so much on my channel. Oh my god, my nose gets so freaking red when I cry. I mean, I planned to get real, but I didn't plan to just be over here sobbing and whatnot. I'm just gonna put a little bit of the Catrice primer that I really, really like. This is a smoothing and refining primer, so it's going to fill in any pores and just smooth out any uneven skin texture. And I like to really just focus it right here in this area and on my cheeks as well. I'm gonna do a little bit of color correcting with my Pixie Peach Concealer and put this right underneath my eyes and also around my mouth, because I feel like I do have like some dark areas there, and I feel like whenever I use this underneath my foundation, those dark areas don't peek through as much in my photos. So I'm just gonna kind of pop this right around here. And I know that's probably not the answer you guys were expecting about my wedding and things like that and when I'm getting married. I feel like I don't talk about it often because those are just my feelings. They're very, very mixed. I'm very passionate about what I want, but I feel like I care about what others want, and sometimes I tend to put what others want before what I want. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. I'm just going ham right now with this concealer. And I really, really love this one from Pixi. Honestly, I feel like it is a pretty good dupe for the one from Becca that's like in the high $20–$30 range. So if you guys struggle with any darkness underneath the eyes, definitely go in with the peach tone concealer because it's going to cancel out any blues, purples underneath the eyes. I do want to go for more of a full coverage beat today. That's just what I'm going with. Honestly, when I put on makeup, I don't put on a little bit of makeup. Like if I'm gonna put on anything, I'm gonna put on a whole face, or I'm not gonna put on anything at all. I'm gonna take my Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. This one is in the shade Nude. Sometimes I feel like this is too light for me. Like anytime I feel like I wear it, y'all, I feel like a ghost. So I will be mixing this with a drugstore foundation that I have not been able to put down since I tested it out on my channel. Like honestly, favorite foundation from the drugstore if you want a full coverage look. And I'm talking about the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop full coverage foundation. And I do have the shade True Beige, which is a little bit darker than that of the foundation stick by Hourglass in Nude. And the reason I'm using this and mixing it is because I feel like this is a little too dark for me on its own. So I need to mix it with something just so that way I don't look like Oompa Loompa. I did pick up that Sonia Kashuk sponge. All of you guys were telling me to get, and so far I really like it. I also love how big it is. Like it's damp, it's soft, it's squishy. I am going to use this to blend out the foundation. I'm going to spray the sponge with a little bit of the Lila B Aglow Face Mist. I picked this up during the Sephora sale. Y'all, why is it almost out? Like this was like almost a $50 bottle. Best believe I will not be repurchasing this. Like it's good, but it ain't that good. You know what I mean? Like $50 and I'm almost done. Like I haven't even used this for a month. I'm going to take my sponge, dip it in the NYX foundation, and I'm just going to start blending everything out. So you guys, I personally want to know what you guys look for in a foundation, whether it's from the drugstore, whether it's high end. Do you look for medium coverage, a light coverage, full coverage? I'm a full coverage kind of gal. I really, really am. It's not often that I find a light coverage product that really just like wows me because it's light coverage. At the end of the day, like what's the point, you know? Ooh, also if you guys have any recommendations as to like really, really good websites for online shopping, let me know. Because I mean, yeah, I do like Fashion Nova, Forever 21, but I feel like there are some hidden gems out there that you guys may know of. So if there is a website that you guys like to shop on nonstop, let me know in the comments. I feel like you guys always give me awesome recommendations, especially like with Netflix and stuff. So I really just need some good online clothing stores. And I'm talking about like quality's good, stuff like that. Because do you guys ever hate it when you shop on a website and the quality is like crap and you're like, why did I even buy this? I feel like that happens to me a lot. To set underneath my eyes, I will be using the ColourPop No Filter Loose Powder to just set that concealer down and in place. Honestly, anytime I use this powder, I feel like my under eyes look airbrushed. Like it's unreal. Like beautiful powder. Very, very fine. It gets the job done and it's really affordable as well. For face powder, I will be using this one by Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in the shade 2, and the brush is the Kokie 618. You guys, I love this brush by Kokie. Definitely pick it up. It's like my favorite all over powder brush. It's changing the game for me. Like they sent this to me in PR and I've been hooked ever since. It is so soft. I love it. What I'm doing now is I'm picking up that warm tone brown and I'm smudging it on the very lower lash line just to connect it with the shadow on my upper lid. This is just going to bring everything together. Now, I did have some questions for you guys over on my Instagram. So I'm just going to kind of go through some of the questions because I was getting quite a bit of them. So Jen with 2 E's, 3 N's _B says, what is your biggest fear? So my biggest fear is bridges, and I know that's so weird to say, but I have a very big fear of bridges and large bodies of water, which is crazy because in my mind, I tell myself that I want to do very adventurous things, but I can't swim all that well. I can like doggy paddle, but the moment where I feel like my feet can't touch the ground anymore, I start to panic. So I guess how these both come together is that I'm afraid afraid that the bridge might break and we might fall into the water, and then I can't get out, and I also can't swim, so then I'll just die in a big body of water as a result of going on a bridge. Is that weird? Is that just me? I know it just can't be me. Somebody out there has that fear. Another fear of mine is failure. Like, I never want to feel like I'm failing, or I'm letting anyone down, or I'm letting myself down, or I'm letting my family down, or, you know, everybody around me. And I feel like that's a really big problem that I have. Like, one thing that you guys don't see behind camera is that I have breakdowns often, like often. And it's sad to say because Babito gets like the back end of everything, where I'm just like to the point where I just kind of like break down and I'll cry and I'll just kind of discuss everything that I'm feeling. And I guess a thing that I need to work on is expressing myself in that moment, because sometimes I have the tendency of letting things build up and then I'll just let it all affect me at once, and then I'll have like these really bad emotional breakdowns that aren't good for me. I'm gonna go back into that shade called In Light from the palette and just pop it right there in the very inner corner. I love me a good bright inner corner. To line my waterline and also my upper lash line, I'm gonna use our Killer Kohl liner in the shade Vixen by Collab. And I love this because it's extremely black. And it's also retractable, so you don't have to sharpen it, which is always a positive thing. I'm gonna take Mino from the Juvia's Place palette, and I'm just gonna kind of push it closest to the lash line to really just blend it in with that liner. Like, I don't want to see a gap or any spaces, which is why I'm doing this step. So since I've been talking my ass off and I don't want the video to be crazy long, I'm going to do a mascara off camera and also pop on falsies, and we will be right back to finish things off. And just like that, we are back and ready to bronze and highlight. I'm going to take the MAC Studio Fix contour palette, and I'm going to mix 2 of the shades at the bottom, and I'm going to use this to add some color to the skin because we're looking a little ghostly. You know, like when you put foundation and stuff on and then you look at yourself, you're like, whoa, like where did all the dimension go? Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now, like very ghost-like. So she needs some color, honey. Sister needs some color. Another question that I got over on my Insta stories is how long me and Babito have been together. And if you guys are new here, or if you guys just don't know, which I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't know because I keep things very, very private. We've actually been together for a total of 8 years. We will be together for 9 years, January 1st of next year. It's crazy to think that we've been together that long because honestly, it feels like just yesterday we got together. Like, it's crazy how much time has really flown by. The next question I have on my Insta stories is, when are we planning on buying our house? Now, this has been an ongoing thing for me. As you guys know, like from some chit chat get ready with me's in the past, I stated that I didn't want to move into an apartment, which is why we were staying at Babito's mom's house. But we ended up getting an apartment last year around this time, and we just renewed maybe a few months back for 7 months, and our lease is up again in February of next year. So we are trying to purchase a house this time around. We don't want to renew our lease just because at this point we're just kind of like throwing our money away, and I would much rather put my money into something that's going to be ours, if you get my drift. So hopefully in January I could do my taxes and I can write enough down on my bottom line to get approved for the house that we want, because I don't want us to buy a house that we're eventually going to grow out of in 2 to 3 years. Like, I'm 26, gonna be 27 in February, and at some point in my life I'm gonna have babies. Like, there's no getting around that. So one, we need an office. We both work from home. Babito works with me and he also does some stuff on the side for himself. So we obviously need offices. We need a bedroom for both of us, and we need a filming studio also if we decide to have kids later on down the road. So I don't want to get a small house. I want to get a house that we could both grow into and stay in for maybe like 5, 6, 7 years to come. So that's my train of thought. Blush. She needs blush. So I'm going to use the Milani Color Harmony blush in the shade Coral Beams. I love this blush. Again, sometimes I really love blush, but other times I'm just like, nah. But today, honey, I'm about it. Okay, so after blush, I'm gonna do a little bit of highlighting. In my previous dupes video, I let you guys know all about the Subtle Sunrise Glowy Gossamer Duo by Pixie. I said the light gold shade was a spot on dupe for the ABH and Resi highlighter, and it is like spot on dupe. So I'm gonna use an ABH A23 brush, pick up a little bit of the highlight and pop it right here. Do you guys see that? That's what you call a pop-in highlight. Like, I got a lot of shit for not liking the highlight in Fuego by Desi and Katie in collaboration with Dose. But honestly, you guys, I just wasn't feeling it. And I want you guys to know that just because I don't like something doesn't mean you guys aren't gonna like it. Or just because some big influencers talk highly about something doesn't always necessarily mean that it's gonna work out for me. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on in the beauty community where people make us feel like we all have to like the same things, and it's okay not to like something. Just because somebody else likes it doesn't mean I'm going to like it, or you're gonna like it, or the next person's gonna like it. So like, no tea, no shade. The palette was good, but I just didn't like the highlighter, and that's okay. I'm also gonna take this highlight kind of like onto my blush a little bit, because the last thing I want is to see separation between my blush, bronzer, and highlight. I really want it to all melt together. So sometimes I'll apply my highlighter or my blush, then my highlighter, and then I'll go back in with my blush brush and really just melt it all together. I'm gonna take some of that Pixie highlight and pop it on the tip of my nose and a little bit down the bridge. Nothing too crazy though. Cupid's bow, of course. And before I go in with my lip color, I'm going to spray my face with some setting mist because I'm looking a little dry and I really just want to melt down all of that powder. I'm gonna spray my face with some Fix Plus because I really just want to melt down all of that powder. I'm gonna let that kind of set onto the skin, and while that sets, I'm gonna go in with my lip color. I'm gonna use the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner Pencil in the shade London. And directly on top, I'm going to use this Stay Satin Liquid Lip Color by Rimmel. This one is in the shade Take a Chill Pill. Ooh, that's cute. Ooh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off with the Collab Grand Finale Setting Spray. This is our 3-in-1 Hydrating Face Mist, and I love it because the mist is so fine. It's not a water hose. It is great. So check this out if you guys haven't already. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to finish getting ready and we will be right back. And this right here, you guys, is the final and completed look. I know I talked my ass off in the video, but I'm really hoping that you guys enjoyed this sit down, chit chat, get ready with me style of video. I feel like I don't do these often enough, and I definitely want to make it a point to really just sit down, answer your questions here and there. And I don't want it to take as long. I feel like the last time I did one of these was maybe a few months back. So I want to do them every so often. Let me know how you guys feel about these type of videos. I feel like it allows me to be a little bit more vulnerable in a sense. I can really just speak freely outside of like typical normal conversation of like makeup products and stuff. So let me know. If you stuck around this long and you still have not subscribed, then honey, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and press that subscribe button, and while you're at it, don't forget to press that bell so that you guys are notified anytime I upload a new video, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that, you guys, I'm gonna go. I have to run some errands, pick up some packages, eat dinner, okay? I love you, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Deuces. Outro of the outro, the outro of the outro. You guys made it to the outro of the outro. Congratulations. I do not have a cookie for you, but what I do have for you is some hot fire. So make sure you guys click this video right over here and here, and also don't forget to press the subscribe button floating somewhere across the screen, which is my face. Click the face, the picture, the gray circle with the ponytail. So that way you guys are subscribed to my channel. You guys don't miss out on the goodness I have coming your way in the future. All right, I'm gonna go. I love y'all, and goodbye.